The Oregon State rivalry has been renewed. Jerry Mixon calls out his little bros and what actually happened with wide receiver DeCorey and more. All that and more on the Ducks Confidential podcast. I stumbled over that. I'm Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian and OregonLive. He is George, my boy Wrighster from the Unafraid Show, from the C-Dub. What's up? What game you got this week, homie? What's up?
Oh, man, we got a great one. We got a great one. Another ranked team, Georgia Tech, but they're playing Temple.
Don't.
But it could. You never know. Anything could happen. This could turn out to be the upset of the year.
They beat Clemson. What's up with Clemson, man? What's going on there?
Clemson's offense stinks right now.
How does a program that well, okay. I said this a long time ago. You know, sometimes you're just going to have dips, but it's just crazy to me that a place like Clemson and LSU can't score points. Like, can't just be a little bit above average at least. Like, they're just horrible. How is that possible?
Clemson has two problems. That's it. Because people are making a big deal about Dabo and all of this stuff. And guess what? What's happening right now to Clemson, there's going to be a year at some point in time that this happens to the Ducks, because it happened to Kirby Smart. No. It happened to Kirby Smart like last year, where, like, granted, they still ended up making the playoff, but like and people are questioning him right now. They're like, it ain't looking great. What's up with the offensive line and this and this? People are questioning Clemson. Clemson was in the college football playoff last year, and they're like, oh my God, what if Dabo's washed? No, what's going to happen, and Ducks fans, I need to prepare you for this. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, is that there are going to be some years that you lose football games, that you lose 2 games. No. That you might even lose 3. You might even lose 3.
I never thought I'd hear you say that.
Dude, it's just the reality is that sometimes bad things are going to happen. You're going to get a quarterback hurt. Your offensive line ain't going to gel the way you thought it was going to gel. You might have a bad coordinator hire. Like, there are a plethora of things that can happen over the course of like not in the micro, right? But in the macro, like when you're looking at a 10-year span, right? Clemson has won the national championship twice. They have made the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, won the ACC 8 out of the last 10 years. Overall, like, if you told Clemson fans that would happen, what would they say? We'll take it. And you don't have a losing season, not even close to it, in the middle. Like, the least amount of games you're going to win is 9. Their fans would have been like, hell yeah, we will take that, right? But in the micro, fans are like they overreact to things when in reality, like, you can't win a national championship every single year. Some years you're just going to be good. And fans have a tough time dealing with that. I mean, Ohio State fans.
Oregon fans too. Oregon fans too, right?
No. I'm saying fans in general, not just
you're including Oregon.
Yes, I'm including Oregon fans because
go ahead.
Because we have now become the haves, if you will, in college football, and they're the floor raises, the expectation raises, but don't let that steal your joy from having a very good football team. Because I've seen fans after the Northwestern game, like, oh my God, I'm so concerned. This team is, oh my gosh, it could be, it could fall apart. And this, bro, you have one of the best college football teams in America. Right. I thought that this team would go 10-2 or 11-1 coming into the season. But guess what has to happen for that to happen, Aaron?
They have to win.
You got to lose 1 or 2 games. Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's right. Okay. And I think that people just need to just realize that. And you asked about Clemson. Dabo's doing a great job there, not only on the field, but off the field. Yes, they are 1-2. They lost on the last play of the game twice. It's essentially to Miami and then to Georgia Tech, two really good football teams. Miami, I think, is the best football team in the country right now. And no, I'm sorry. Excuse. They lost to LSU, which I don't think is the best team in the country, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay. So George, this is the Ducks Confidential podcast?
Yeah. But you
Clemson?
asked about Clemson.
Yeah, but that's for a soliloquy.
Their offensive line is broken. Yes, I went on a whole tangent. But their offensive line is not working, and they need a new offensive coordinator. I said all that to say those two things.
Okay, thanks for getting there. At least you did mix in some Duck stuff along the way. My headline on this is going to be George Wrighster predicts doom and gloom in future for Ducks. That's going to be the headline. No?
The championship window is open this year.
Open this year, George Wrighster says. All right. Today's episode of the Ducks Confidential / Clemson Confidential podcast is brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at you got me all thrown off, dude. At www.eugenecascadescoast.org. All right, let's get back to a team that plays next door to us, or next door to me, down the road, hour and a half away. Okay, let's start here. The rivalry with Oregon State has been renewed. Praise the Lord. They're going to have a 1-year hiatus next year, and then in 2027, go home and home for 6 years is the initial agreement. I like it. I know you've had some reservations about it, but I think you like the fact they're going to continue playing. Even if the Ducks go 6-0 by a combined score of 300-60, I still think it's worth it. What do you think?
I do, as long as this is a bye game. Like, I need this to be.
It needs to replace Montana State.
Yes.
In Portland State. Yes. Things like that.
Correct. Right. Like not that you use this or you use this as the third game. So like you play a Power 4 opponent, you play Oregon State, and then you play like Portland State or something.
No, see, I'm saying erase Portland State.
Then who would you like to put in that third game? Because you should have a Power 4 opponent.
Right.
So
and then Oregon State, and then another at least mid-major, but don't go FCS. Because this schedule right now, like Oklahoma State was supposed to be better. I get it.
Yeah, but you can't do anything about that.
Right, exactly. So I don't blame them for that. But still, getting in a situation where you got Montana State and Oregon State.
Give me the type of school that you would like to put in there, because you're essentially playing like, if you're playing Oregon State, you're essentially playing like
Fresno State.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd rather see them play a Fresno State or a Nevada or a Boise than Portland State if I'm also going to I'm getting Oregon State.
I think you run the risk. Now, mind you, scheduling etiquette, right? I am of the belief that you should play at least 10 Power 4 games and then a G6 game and then and then a bye game, right? And then like a FCS opponent if you want to, or whoever that you want to play. I don't care. Another Power 4 opponent. Like, I'm not going to ding a team in terms of their schedule if they have a Power 4 team, a G6 team, like I'm talking about from the American or from the Mountain West. Okay.
Right.
Like you can't go Sun Belt and then be like, or MAC and then be like, yeah, we did something. And then you need and then you can schedule whoever you want to for that 12th game. Okay. So I don't really care as long, like if you have Oregon State and then you have a Power 4 opponent, I don't care who they schedule after that. It can be Portland State. It can be Alabama. Either way, it don't matter to me.
Okay. So in 2027, they have at Baylor, home Eastern Washington, now Oregon State, which will be home.
Yeah, I think that's a good schedule.
See, to me, move the Eastern Washington out and bring in, I don't know. I'm just bored with these types of games, like especially with that's good. Because it's one thing when you were really good, like they were, and you were playing FCS. Now with the transfer portal and the money you can spend and the roster you can build, like the gap just widens. Like it's so ridiculous at this point. Now in 28, you'll have Oregon State, home Baylor, North Dakota State.
Yeah.
To me, why even play that team? 29.
Well, hey, North Dakota State has beaten Power.
So get this. So right now, 29 is Portland State, Utah State, Oregon State.
That won't happen.
They're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
And let's go to 30 real quick and see what's the tentative right here on 30. There's nothing in here for 30. This is on FBschedules.com.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, you won't have that 29 schedule. That one's going to change for sure.
Good. All right. Bring in Miami. Dude,
I love it.
That's Miami.
Love it. And you know what the best part about that is? Is that Dan Lanning will not back down from that challenge.
Of course.
And then the best part about that is Mario Cristobal, he'll sign up for that challenge too.
Of course. Those guys are competitive, man.
Now he might ask for it to be at a neutral site, but
do a home and a home, man. Do a home and home.
I would love that.
Let's get it twice. Get it back to back. See, those are kind of things to me, like those are things you got to pursue. It's like, because the natural drama is there, and there's no way like Cristobal and Lanning have anything against each other, right? But we know that Duck fans have animosity. As a matter of fact, in my so I did this all quarter century thing. In the coaches voting, I had Lottie, Kelly, Lanning, Helfrich, and Cristobal. Cristobal finished dead last at like 3, maybe I don't even think it was 3%. That guy won 2 conference championships. So you could tell the hate was there. But anyway, but that's great drama, and I would love to cover that. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Look, we all know this game's probably going to be a rout. It's a 32-point spread, right? So maybe we needed some bulletin board material for us to cover and for Oregon State to latch onto. I don't know. But linebacker Jerry Mixon appeared before the media on Tuesday, was asked what this rivalry meant to him. He said, fans get up for it. And he added in, there are little bros and we go out there and we kick their ass. When he said that, I just thought, is that needed? Like this isn't a situation where it's 2 equal combatants. This would be like us meeting in the octagon. Like, I wouldn't talk trash about you like that right before I pulverized you. So it's just like, okay, you didn't have to laugh that. You didn't have to laugh that hard. Just because you're 15 years younger and 70 pounds heavier does not mean I couldn't take you in the, anyway, moving on. So I just thought it was kind of a little gratuitous, but he's a kid. Like, I'm not bashing on him. I just thought it was a little over the top. What'd you think?
I didn't care. This was a non-issue to me. I mean, this does feel like a little bit kicking them when they're down, but it's football. It's football. It is the time for sympathy, like was on Monday when we put out the last podcast. That was the time to talk about, woe is Oregon State. Well, line them up on the field now. Line them up and run them over. Right. If you can talk trash as long as you back up trash. And Jerry Mixon is feeling himself. He got 2 picks already this season. Pick 6, ego as big as the room. Yeah. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it was unnecessary, but again, he's a kid talking. Like you said, he's a football player. He's playing football. He's not worried about all the other stuff that we all worry about. It's not a huge deal, but I thought it was.
He don't give a damn about nothing Oregon State problems is going through.
Now, we know that Oregon's practices are closed, but sometimes things get out. There was rumors and reports that wide receiver Decorian Moore was injured, maybe carted off, but that he was pretty much fine and going to be okay. It wasn't that big a deal. What did you hear about that?
Just that the court, because it started with a couple text messages to me from national college football writers, from local people. They're like, yo, did you hear that Decorian Moore got carted off at practice? And I was like, Jesus, take my leg instead. That was my initial thought. And then I found out that he'll be okay.
Is he playing this week?
That this should not have a long term he'll be all right.
All right, before we let's save the game for last. Let's get to around the nation. There's some good games around the nation, but probably the one that maybe Oregon fans should pay attention to the most Illinois, Indiana, 2 ranked teams. I think what's Illinois 8, and Indiana is. You're excited for that one, huh? I'm sorry. I don't have the rankings already in my head. I think it's 8 and 18, something like that. And Oregon's going to play Indiana. Now, Oregon thumped Illinois last year, but you have said repeatedly that you think Illinois is a lot better this season and is definitely a team that could cause trouble in this conference. So are you expecting them to go into Indiana and win?
Yes, 100%.
100%.
This feels I 100%.
So it's Illinois 9, Illinois 9, Indiana 19. Go.
Yes, I 100% expect them 100%.
to 100%. Let me call my bookie.
Aaron, listen to the words that I said. I didn't say I'm 100% that they are 100%. I'm betting my house they're going to win. I said I 100% expect them to win.
Okay, that's different. Let me cancel my bet. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the Indiana, this number started off at, I think, like 5, and now it's up to 6.5, bro, in Indiana's favor. Indiana has played Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State.
So
my God, they've only given up 23 points on the season, and they've scored like damn near 200.
Isn't that what you say about Oregon? Don't you brag about what Oregon's doing? Same thing, right?
Dude, Oregon played Montana State, Oklahoma State, and then Northwestern. Northwestern is going to win games in the Big Ten. They're not going to get blanked in the Big Ten. Northwestern would boat race those 3 teams.
Boat race?
Boat race.
Okay.
And Oklahoma State would beat all 3 of those teams.
Wow.
What are you talking about? They're going to beat Kennesaw State, Indiana State, and
Indiana State, man. Indiana State. They lost 73-0. Okay, maybe. All right. Yeah. So okay, but that's
Larry Bird walking through that door.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that schedule too earlier this week. It was Larry Bird. Okay, but that doesn't mean they're not good. It just means they played some bad teams. Why do you think they're not ready for Illinois?
This is the same exact thing I said about Penn State's early season schedule. I don't think that it prepares them for the level of physicality, the level of intensity it's going to take to play Oregon in 2 weeks. Illinois, on the other hand, has gone on the road and beat Duke. And they played Western Michigan.
Duke
is a pretty good football team, brother. Don't
sleep on Duke.
No, do not sleep on Duke.
Okay, I will not sleep on Duke.
Yes, they're 1 and 2, but this Tulane team that they lost to is for real. Tulane beat Northwestern, and they beat Duke. This Tulane team is not for playtime. So that's the point, is that I do believe that Illinois, who returned 16 starters from last year, 18 from their bowl game, everything is a recipe for being able to win games like this. And yes, Francisco Mendoza, Indiana's new quarterback who came from Cal, is doing a good job. And that's no knock on him or Indiana's team. They're a pretty good football team. I just don't believe that they are as good as some people think they are.
Gotcha.
I think Illinois is a college football playoff team this year. Wow. That's basically it.
How many teams are going to make it then?
From the Big Ten?
Yeah.
4.
So Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and Illinois?
Yeah, in Indiana. In Illinois.
Illinois. Okay, yeah. All right. Not Michigan?
No, Michigan in 2026 is going to be a problem, though. I'm letting you know that right now.
All right. Anything else nationally you want to talk about?
I am interested in the Auburn Oklahoma game, because I want to see how good Oklahoma is as well. And then I think that Miami has a trap game with Florida. I do believe that they're going to run Florida out of the building, but there are circumstances where like Florida is teetering. If they lose this game, there's a possibility that DJ Lagway redshirts. And then like if they get their doors knocked off, because I think the kid probably needs surgery. DJ Lagway could be out for the year. That means Billy Napier is going to get fired. So,
damn.
So, like, everything is literally, this is Florida's entire season resting on this game, I think. So they're going to come out, play hard. If they get their doors blown off, it's over. It's over.
Wow.
Regardless of whether you think it's right, wrong, and different, the reality is the reality.
Fair. All right. With that, let's move on to another game where someone might get their doors blown off. All right. Dan Lanning had praise for Malik Murphy. It's not Malik.
Malik Murphy.
It's Malik. That's spelled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
M-A-A-L-I-K. My bad. I believe
the kid
you.
is from down.
I believe
the kid
you.
is from down here. I know him. I'm 100% sure it's.
I believe you. I'm not questioning you. I'm just looking at the spelling. My fault for not knowing how to pronounce it. Malik Murphy. 896 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 picks. But Dan Lanning said this kid can blow he can blow the top off. He's got a cannon.
Yes.
And I think I said this earlier in the week. I want to see the secondary challenge, man. I just want to see Oregon secondary be challenged downfield, be running around chasing receivers. Yeah, they're probably gonna get some picks. They're gonna give up some yards. That's okay. They need to get that run, man, because they have not been challenged at all the first 3 weeks.
Malik Murphy is the best quarterback that they faced so far.
By far.
People are going to look at the stats, but
300 per game. I like it.
Yeah. Some of these picks have come because they've been down and he's trying to force balls to like make plays to bring his team back. Mm-hmm. One of those, if he gets hot, it could pile up some yards. And the kid is a big athlete. Like, he's big. He looks good getting off the bus.
6'5", 230.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He looks good getting off the bus.
Damn.
And he's got a cannon for an arm. I remember seeing him throw the ball in high school at the Rivals camp. He was throwing an NFL ball at that time, and he was throwing it like with no problem because it's shaped differently than the college ball. So you have to have huge hands to be able to, like, especially when you're younger and you're not quite as strong, to be able to spin it as well as he used to spin it. But he's a kid who was kind of inexperienced a little bit coming out of high school, simply because he got hurt a couple years in a row. So then he goes to Texas and he's behind Quinn Ewers. Arch comes in. And then they basically tell him, like, yo, Arch is the next guy up. So then he leaves, goes to go to Duke. And he plays well at Duke. Duke, how many games they win last year? 9?
At least
8, and that's a good season for Duke. And then with Manny Diaz. And then things don't work out for him there. They bring in Darian Mensah. Reports that I've heard are that he didn't really fit in with Duke. So then he ends up leaving and ending up at Oregon State. I was surprised that he ended up there. Very surprised because he played well at Duke. So now he's in a situation where probably expected them to be a little bit better in terms of talent-wise and everything. And people are now questioning Trent Bray, who historically has shown that he's a really good schematic defensive coach. I think that, it's just tough times at Oregon State right now. And instead of flipping coaches and all of this stuff, sometimes you got to stick with somebody and like double down and be like, yo, like, this is the guy to lead us out of the storm, because we are literally in the middle of a storm. He could have left and went to Michigan State and had easy times out there and then been in a situation that's growing, get a head coaching job somewhere else that's more stable and in year, 2 years, and would have been fine. But instead, he chose to stick there, fight it out, and then to try to throw him in the trash. I think that Oregon State fans have an unrealistic expectation of what's going on and like who could fix everything in the instability with what's been going on for the last 2 years plus.
No, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't cover Oregon State, and I admit I don't. I'm not going to pretend to know all the inner workings of everything that's going on there. Sometimes there's things going on behind the scene that lead to a person getting fired prematurely or what have you that you don't know about. But dude, like Jonathan Smith left because the ship was sinking. Trent Bray
he would have never left. He would not have left.
He's trying to pump the boat out. Like he's trying to keep this thing going. You had no conference. You're in a 2-team conference. You're trying to build a conference. Like people are stealing your players. Everyone can buy your players. You're trying to pull players from other places. I mean, this kid, you're right. I mean, this kid, Murphy, last year at Duke, 2,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks. I'm surprised he ended up at Oregon State. The fact that they got him, I'm like, Trent Bray, good job. Because why is he here? I don't know, but you got to give him 3, 4, 5 years maybe to just keep, because who are you going to go get? Like, let me ask you that. Who are you going to hire that's going to come in, that's going to turn this thing around instantly with all the issues they have? And who's going to care? That's the other thing. Who's going to care enough to want to come here and do this? Because Trent Bray is one of the greatest middle linebackers of the last 25 years, according to my quarter century team that you can find on OregonLive. And he stayed here, like you just said. So who could they possibly get, George? Break down for me. What magic coach is coming to Oregon State to turn this thing around overnight?
Magic? No. And the thing is that, so if Trent Bray turns things around, okay, he's going to get another head coaching job opportunity, but he wouldn't then just bolt on you for the first opportunity. Like he would wait until it was something like Michigan State available or something. Right. Like he wouldn't leave you for, just any old thing.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but he wouldn't just leave you for any situation. It would have to be a situation that's right for his family, right in so many circumstances. Anybody else that you hire is a hired gun. And the first time a bigger, better deal comes over, all right, cool, I'm out.
100%.
Bye. And you're rebuilding again.
100%. I agree. So people need to chill. I get it. It's frustrating. They're not looking good. I think Bill Oram, our columnist, wrote a column, calling out Bray. And it's just like, what did anyone expect? Like, if they were good, then Trent Bray would be gone by the end of this year because it would be a miracle. I just don't know. I mean, sometimes I just don't understand it, but whatever. All right. So does Murphy, okay, so we've kind of painted this. I think I had 53-13. I think you had something like that as well. So do we just feel like regardless of Murphy's ability, he's just not going to be able to get over on this team and get, obviously he's not going to score 30 something, but get into the 20s and maybe keep it interesting through the first half? Yeah. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I think that if that happens, Dan Lanning would be on a warpath.
Drama.
Yeah. After last week, that would mean that the team didn't respond in the way that he would have hoped, which would be terrible for everybody involved.
Right.
Because yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. Especially since the Northwestern film gave him something to point out to say, don't believe your press clippings. You guys aren't that good. You can be exposed. So you expect them to rise up. All right. Anything else from this game? I mean, the defense is not very good. They're going to get smoked by Oregon. I think Oregon scores 50 something. They do have a nice receiver, Trent Walker, 23 catches, 300 yards. The running game is averaging like 70 yards per game, which is going to be the real problem because they're not going to be able to run it all. Therefore, they can tee off on Murphy. Are you still in the 50 something to teen something mode?
Yes, there is nothing that has happened in the last 72 hours that has changed my mind about what I think about this game. I mean, if you told me Luke Moga was starting, I would go like 30 some points instead of 50.
All right, so before we sign off here, after Oregon State, we'll have gotten through this first wave of 4 games. Very uninteresting from my perspective. I know fans love to see their team score points, and that's great. And I'm different perspective, different view. Let's assume we see what we're going to see Saturday from this team. How do you feel going into conference play? Yes, you played Northwestern last week, but
if they look good this week, I will feel very confident going in. I mean, coming into the season, I was already confident about the like fairly confident about going into Penn State. I am. Drew Aller just keeps proving me right. He's a jag. He's a jag in what's his name's body, in Josh Allen's body.
Okay.
And people keep looking at him and they're like, oh my gosh, he can turn into Josh Allen. His numbers are very similar to what you saw at Josh Allen. Josh Allen was at Wyoming and outmatched every time he played somebody. With I talked to people who played against him in Wyoming. They were like, you could tell that he was very talented, but like, we didn't even need safety help over the top.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was getting away from anybody. He was like, his wide receivers were the worst we probably played.
I covered the game. That was 17. That was Taggart at Wyoming. And that was his last year. And his best receivers had gone to the NFL the year before. And he had nothing. But it was clear physically he was impressive, but he had nothing to throw to that day, clearly. Okay, and your boy Drew here. I mean, the last two games, man, against FIU, 19 of 33, 57%, 2 touchdowns, though. And then Villanova, it scored 52, but he goes 19 of 29 for 209, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Yes, he has not been very impressive, but he does have talent, man. Like he's got a good arm. He played well in that conference championship game, save for 2 picks. So we'll see if he can improve. But you're right, he's not playing like a guy you would expect to play with this much experience, trying to take another step and trying to go pro as a senior. So I'm with you on that. All right, anything else?
Nope.
We're good. I think we managed to pull out a podcast, a second one this week on this game that we know is going to be a dud. So good job.
But I will tell folks, if you I did tell a great story about TJ Houshmandzadeh and the interaction that we had on the on Unafraid Show. So y'all can check that out on YouTube after you finish watching this. So if you're at this point in the video, it is time to go click the next video.
But not until I read this ad here. Today's episode of Ducks Confidential was brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. All right. We're done with this week's action. We are. The players aren't. We'll be back next week to talk a little bit about the OSU game and then dive head first into Penn State, baby. So I'll see you then.